stressful for him. If he doesn't do it, there's not too much stress. If you want to have a go, Roger, great, you get stuck in. So be interesting to see how he goes today coming into the finish, because a little bit more twisty and a little bit of a climb up to the finish. It'll be interesting to see if he gives it a go or not.
One of the riders from W52 FC Porto just putting his neck in front when it came to the points at the intermediate sprint. And remember, the €50 available. Beer money for the end of the race for everybody. Or whatever kitty they put it in for. These days it's so much more professional. Maybe the end of the season.
I think with the sprint today, I think we're going to see a lot more riders.
The final 12 kilometres out of the way as we pass through the final town before we get to Tavira, really. That was Villanova Casella. And now it's the road to Tavira. Atlantic Ocean in the background. Those long beaches just down the road from the capital, Faro. We're ever so slightly east of Faro here, just towards the Spanish border, the border with Andalusia. The region where we've seen racing again today. If you didn't manage to catch it live, make sure you get online or check your schedules for the highlights replay. There's been some spectacular racing there this week too. We really are spoiled at the moment. It's quick here. Everybody getting ready for what they can do. There's Ryan Mullen through the centre alongside Vincenzo Nibali.
Must be not of him that crashed then, or if he did.
Was Stoven.
Oh, sorry, my bad. Yeah, he's with Nibali there. Interesting that Nibali's running black bar tape. Everyone else in that team's run white. I don't know if that's a thing that he likes. He doesn't want to be too flashy. He just likes looking down at the black bar tape rather than the white. But interesting that he's gone for that, and rather than the usual white that team uses. I prefer the white, obviously.
No frills, Vincenzo Nibali. He's old school. 10Ks to go. All together after the three-man breakaway, and it's UAE Emirates at the front here. Borley and Oliveira, the men doing most of the work. Mikel Biel is up there as well.
This is the time when you'll see more of the GC teams come up now. Between 10 and 3K to go, that is where you protect your GC leader. That's where you see Luke and Rowan Rooning up a little bit.
On the left-hand side, as we looked at it then in the Ineos jerseys, the red and the black.
They'll be trying to protect Swifty, but also the guys, they'll be so used to protecting
faster guys racing to be done tomorrow and at the time trial, but an opportunity for some of them to win. For the sprinters, definitely the last hit out. There's Tim Wellers through the centre. Frederick Frison is with him.
Luis Leon Sanchez there in the middle in the blue. Looking to find out where Lopez is and keep him protected as well.
He was just two positions sort of on the wrong train, wasn't he? I mean, interesting to see Miguel Angel Lopez at the Tour de France this year. It's certainly a route that suits him more. The way the time trialling is at the Giro, much more traditional Grand Tour, the Giro d'Italia this year. A lot of early sprint stages, 3 time trials, and all the climbing packed into the last week and a half. There's the man we're looking at for today, the big favourite in the red, Fabio Jakobsen of De Koning Quick-Step, the team from Belgium, hoping to make it a hat-trick of wins. They won on day one, they won on day two. They've had the yellow jersey. Mathieu van der Poel moving his team up on the radio rather than just shouting out.
Yeah, I think he'll be the last man today. I think what he'll be saying is move over to a certain side, move left or right. You can see that Bora on the right there, and you can see Sunweb on the right, far right, moving up. A lot of these teams, they want to fight for the side of the road to block that side. That's theirs. No one will be able to move up from them. But if I was in a Sunweb team now, trying to move up on the left-hand side, it's very difficult to go down the right-hand side of that road, and there's a risk of puncture in the gutter. So you can see also on the left, you've got Quick-Step and UAE. If UAE wanted to get that position, they should have gone over the top of Quick-Step as well. But as you can see, there's a big, as we heard a little bit on the radio there must have been a bit of something gone on, a big shout in the peloton. But as you can see, that there's gaps opening, that shows that the wind's quite strong and no one wants to put their nose in the wind. They want to keep out of it. So it's windy, it looks quite difficult. As you can see, the Alpecin guys trying to hold their position, and as well as UAE.
Really fighting for those positions here with 8 kilometers to go. By the way, you mentioned Sunweb in their red jerseys. Today we'll be riding for Kees Bol, the young second-year professional from the Netherlands. And he's right at the back of their train there. 7.5 kilometers remain. A little gusts of wind getting in through those trees, as you could hear it on the effects microphone actually. And again, remember, gold helmet and that orange jersey for the man from CCC, and on the left it's Pustelberger leading up the German team Bora Hansgrohe. Remember, they had to go with 2 guys the other day. We didn't quite know who exactly they were working for. Martin Lars, excuse me, from Estonia, and Jean-Pierre Drucker, the Luxembourg rider. They finished almost next to each other in the bunch. We'll have to see how they get on today. We can see Tavira in the distance. That is where we're heading. It's the end of stage 3, and it is going to be a sprint finish in the Tour of the Algarve.
You can really tell there's not a lot of wind here, and it's not really coming from any direction. That's why there's the movement in the peloton from left to right and right to left. And Bora's holding the position. They're on the right hand side of the road there in the green jerseys, but they're holding that position to keep it. And Alpecin now, if they could get one man in front and really hook over to the left of the road, that would block Quick-Step in and really block them and make that into a very tough situation for them. You see Soudal in the middle there. That's a great position to be in, but if that peloton closes up in the middle, that will trap them. They need to get past the team in front of them and take a side of the road so they can dominate that side. But it's a lot easier said than done. These guys are knocking on at 50-60k an hour, and it's not just as easy as just moving up. As you see Greg Van Avermaet in the middle, just trying to get some shelter, get out of the wind. But
you saw the effort that big Nicholas Maas had to put in just to move up there, didn't he? When you were putting that, he pointed to the left as he was going in the rider in front of him. Through the centre, Miguel Angel Lopez and company trying to move as well. The Quick-Step on the left as we look at it right now, with the red jersey of Fabio Jakobsen. In the meantime, Dries de Bont and Alpecin Phoenix at the front again. A real fight for position here. Chaotic, and Luis Leon Sanchez has come to work to look after Lopez, who looked a little lost a moment ago, all on his own in the centre. It's
very hard to keep a guy like Lopez on your wheel. He's such a small guy, and the sprinters going on. It's very hard that he'll get nudged off the wheel quite quickly, so it's difficult for him to hold the wheel, but he's got a good teammate to do it in Luis Leon.
Pesta Ben Amour Golf, and it's less than 5 kilometres to go now. We remind you, 2 roundabouts inside the last couple of kilometres at a right-hand turn with around 400 to 500 metres
to take control. As when they want to get into that turn, that's when they'll accelerate, and they'll use the L Tractor, Tim de Klerk, to come up there and do that big turn. But as you can see, Van der Poel moving up with Modolo slotting onto Greg Van Avermaet's wheel in the orange. It's not easy to hold the wheel there.
I was going to say, he's in danger of losing his teammates again, as we saw the other day. They're all a bit sort of fractured there. There's no one train like we can see on the left looking at Sunweb. We can see on the right, you mentioned, hiding so well De Koning, Quick-Step. And at the front, yes, they've gone long today. They've been working to keep that position for a long time, but UAE Emirates have held it well so so far. The question is, can they hold it with 3Ks to go now, and can Alexander Kristoff finish the job?
Let's hope so. I saw Elia Viviani there on Jakobsen's wheel, so he knows which wheel he needs to be on. Remco over there, you see Luke Rowe just on the right with Kato behind him. They'll be looking to move swiftly up in the Ineos colours of the red and black, so they're a bit far back, but you can see now the team's moving again across the road, trying to hold that position and try not to get taken over. It's a very dangerous part to be in, but it's important to watch where Elia is now, and he's now onto Jakobsen's wheel on the left hand side of the bottom of the screen, and it's too cough for this guy's in front of him. He's chosen to stick to their wheel, and danger with a puncture down the middle of the road.
Look out for the European champions jersey if it is Elia Viviani. Remember, it is the white, the blue and the gold. Two red and white jerseys in front of him in Sabatini and Consonni. One by one now they peel off. Just over 2 kilometers to go. And Team Sunweb is the team that is holding everything at the moment for Kirspol. Now Yves Lampaert appears in front of Florian Sénéchal. Behind him, you can see in the red jersey, it is their main man Jakobsen. Here come Ineos now. Luke Rowe, Michal Kwiatkowski, Ben Swift should be there or thereabouts, but he hasn't.
Trying to move himself out now, trying to get Greg Van Avermaet out the way. It's important, and they have space to move, and you see him accelerate now.
He's on the right hand side. Sorry, Adam, he was the man with the beard there in the white and the blue jersey. 2 kilometers, just less to go. Israel Startup Nation moving up as well. Remember, Davide Cimolai, their Italian sprinter, trying to do the job for them. A couple of those orange jerseys for Uno ex-Norwegian development team are there. Daniel Hulgaard. This is the first of the roundabouts now. It's a left turn here. We're about 1.5 kilometers to go. In fact, just less than that now. I think that might have been the Flamme Rouge. It was. So 1K to go. Here we go.
And now if they don't take the right in this roundabout, which they should do, this is where the direct is very important, where you see the Google Maps wins play. If you don't take the right hand side of this roundabout now, the race is lost. So a lot of teams will be fighting to take either left or right hand side of the road and get themselves in position to this roundabout, as after this it's downhill and into the next corner, which is the final one. It's
Sénéchal in second wheel, who's the main man now. That is that roundabout. There's one right hand turn to go, remember, and then uphill to the finish. At the moment, Israel Startup Nation are there. Now it's going to be Sénéchal, the Frenchman, who takes it up at the front. His sprinter on the left hand side trying to move up in the red jersey. That's Jakobsen. Good positioning here as well from Alexander Kristoff in the white. There is that final right turn, and we're going to the final 400 meters now. It's going to be a late dash to the line for those who are going to take it. 5 hours of racing here on stage 3 in the Algarve. The positioning at the moment. And Kirspol is ready to go. Kristoff is there, as is Model in the navy blue as well. It's Kirspol who's in the front on the right hand side. The red trying to come through. It is Jakobsen on the left. Model's there as well. It's a real fight for the line, this, but it's Kirspol going all the way, and the Dutchman's taking the win. Wow, super win for Kirspol. And Team Sunweb worked so hard from a long way out there. Sunweb have it, Kirspol has it, and that is a very big win for the young Dutch star.
Chapeau to him. Yeah, the team did brilliant there. They were nailing that side of the road. They got where they wanted to be, and they all got the team into position and said, guys, this is what we've got to do. These are the markers today. Let's try and nail it. And they couldn't have done it any better than that.
Viviani not in the shot there. His teammates come across the line. Sunweb did a serious job, and Kirspol finished it off. 6th the other day, 1st today. Despite the fact that Jakobsen was going for it. Kristoff was brilliant at position going into that final corner, but Bol, they had real speed there. But as we saw that final shot, they were the most organised. He's the only man who really had a lead out, wasn't he?
He was, yeah, and as you can see now the overhead, you see Jakobsen about 8 wheels back in the red jersey. He's got one teammate with him who pushed him up there, which is a little bit naughty. You've got Sasha Modolo and then Alexander Kristoff. Kristoff now here for me has done a wrong thing. He shouldn't have moved up there. He should have stayed behind a little bit. But you can see as he comes out the corner, Kristoff's already got a little gap to make up, so not easy, but you can see Modelo's a long way behind. But these guys nail it already. They've got Florian Sénéchal in front of him, so he's started up to get that speed, and he's got one lead out man left already. That's 400 metres to go. So he's technically got a 200-metre sprint now, and you can see he's laying off the wheel a little bit, and now he starts his sprint. Christoph's running at him as well, so he's already started his sprint just before this. So for him to build up that speed again